comprehensively deepen reform. That's a very important building block to achieve a moderately prosperous society.
Well, I do think the advancements which China has made and which they intend to make in the rule of law are very important.
But I think that the Chinese dream embodies a very ambitious concept, and I think that China is on track to achieve that concept, which is to build a moderately prosperous society for all. I believe that that is the main goal, and from my viewpoint, the four comprehensives outlined by President Xi help it very much to sustain that main goal. Comprehensively deepen reform. That's a very important building block to achieve a moderately prosperous society.
I admire President Xi Jinping's recognition of the importance of changing the economic model of China from a high-speed, extensive model of development to what is termed new normal, but especially an intensive model of development that depends more on quality and innovation and efficiency rather than on increasing the number of workers and increasing the number of inputs into production. I think that's a very important transition if China is going to become a high-income country with a high-quality economy over time. We know from experience elsewhere that many countries that have reached this point in their development, relatively few have become high-income countries. So this is a very complicated, difficult, wide-ranging set of changes that are needed.
Well, I do think the advancements which China has made and which they intend to make in the rule of law are very important, not just for air quality, but for overall growth and investment in the economy. I think that the application of a strong rule of law is important. I think that it's crucial that enterprises, no matter whether they are foreign-owned, domestically owned, state or private sector, joint venture, whatever the nature of their ownership structure, and whatever their scale, whether they're modest size or large, that they abide by environmental laws.
I really commend the leadership of China for their effort to concentrate on the good governance. Country cannot prosper if you don't have the good governance. So any effort to tackle the issue of corruption, the effort from the leadership, the effort to tackle the issue of non-transparency, creating more transparency of law and check and balance, anti-corruption, make sure that the rule of law is in place. Make sure the rule of law is in place, making sure that the legal enforcement is something that is respected and is based on non-discriminatory nature. And this is something that I think all countries will look up to China and would follow. And I think many countries in ASEAN have already implemented this policy of good governance and transparency, anti-corruption in their own national policies.
China grew rapidly during the last more than 2 decades now almost, and its growth rate has slowed down. But I think China is adjusting by its own policy decision. The growth path that China is embarking now will allow it to improve the quality of its growth to more sustainable levels. And I do believe that this, quote, new normal that one is talking about will also take China to continue its march towards further improvement in the living standards of the people, better quality of life, and more sustainable, I think, is a more important factor in my mind.